Hi everyone, my name is Jess and today this is a tricky topic, but I'm going to talk about how to control your job security fears. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. It would help me out a lot and you'll be reminded that I post some great content every single week, all for you, and it is shaped by you. So if you like it or dislike it, it gives me the feedback that I'm doing a good job or to keep making more content. So today, this topic has been coming up a lot this year and I have done a few different posts, but this one is really going to outline my top 10 things that I work through in order to not feel scared every single day in my job. The tech industry over the last 2 years has been hit so hard on layoffs, on the shift of, AI and new jobs being created and old jobs being dissolved because we don't need some of the old jobs. So these 10 things have really calmed me down to feel good every day going to work, to feel inspired and positive. So hopefully these 10 or 2 or 1 of these tips can help you feel a little bit more positive. And if you have any recommendations, feel free to comment down below. I know the community likes to work off of each other. So we'll just dive right in. Number 1 would be to consistently enhance your skills. I was recently talking to a few people about job change and when to change a job and what you should be thinking about when looking for a new job. And I always think when I'm applying for a new job or want to do something different, what skill am I searching for? So if you're looking to go into leadership, are you looking to gain and acquire and work on that leadership skill? If you're not, and you want to do more of a technology skill, then leadership is probably not the role for you. So always when going into a new job, especially when I went into this new role, I thought, all right, what is the number 1 skill that I want to get out of this job, at least in the first year of working here? And I always do year 1, year 2, year 3 of the skills that I want to grow on. And that way, when nervousness does come up, I can go back on, hey, if I lose my job, it doesn't matter because I've gained this skill from the last 6 months or the last 1 year or the last 6 weeks, whatever it might be. But what skills are you working on? And I think it's very important to define that. If you're in a job that you have been in for the last 10, 20, 17, whatever years, you should really be focused on, am I learning any new skills? And am I okay with not learning? Or do I want to go acquire some other skills? And maybe it's taking a course, maybe it's learning from a new mentor. Whatever it is, always know what you're working towards in your job. Doesn't matter if you're new or tenure. Now, number 2 would be to stay informed with industry trends. So important to understand what's going on in the industry, especially if you're in the tech sales industry. Where are the companies hiring? What are they doing? What are they hiring? What type of roles? I'm at Dell Technologies right now, and I always look at what new roles are being posted because I want to know where are the points that the company is investing in and where do I need to stay focused? So if I see they're focused on AI or Edge, then maybe I want to start learning more about those products so that I can keep up with what the industry is doing. Number 3 would be every single month, whether you're 18 or whether you're in your 50s, you need to be networking. As many people that you can meet and know in your career, especially in sales, is golden. You are working towards being able to one day be able to walk in a room and know a lot of people when you walk in that room. That is such an important skill set and network that you want to acquire, because then sales will get easier because the industry is quite small. So continue to network, and how you network is, if you're new to it, I have a ton of videos on networking and how to network internally and externally. Go check those out. But I at least go and try to network with 1 to 2 people per month at a minimum, externally and internally. Now, number 4 would be, and I can't say this enough, is having a good reputation of work ethic. If you are coming to work and you are not inspired and you are not bringing your best self forward and not focused on your role, it will show. And so all that networking that you've done, all those things that you've done to enhance your skills and stay informed will all come crumbling down if you get a bad reputation of work ethic. It is really hard to get out of the hole if you don't have a good work ethic, or if you've shown that you don't have a good work ethic. It's really hard to dig yourself out of that. I've led a lot of different people, and some of them got a reputation, not from me, but from people that they were helping, that they were lazy, or they were not the first ones to help, or that they were the last ones to always show up. And so I can't stress enough, if you take anything from today's video, work ethic pays, and work ethic shows in an organization. So I'm sure if you're watching this video, you do have a work ethic, because you wouldn't want to get better at your job. So I don't think I need to remind you that, but just know that you're doing a good job, especially if you have work ethic. Now, number 5 is an interesting one, because we don't all have the luxury or time to diversify your income. That's really number 5 is there another way that you can make a secondary source of income, whether that's having a partner that is bringing that secondary source in, or maybe a YouTube channel, or maybe thought leadership, or presentations, or doing keynotes, or sitting on a board of executives. These are really not for the students, but for the tenure folks. It is ideal to not have this nervousness to diversify your income. Everybody wants to do it. There's not a simple way to do it. And if I had the advice to give to you to say, hey, here's how you do it, there are a lot of professionals out there. So you might want to consider that. I have done that for myself, which I am very lucky to be able to have the time. And I do also have a partner that helps and that brings in an income. So that helps with the nervousness if something did happen in my career, that I do have something to fall back to. And it just makes it a lot less stressful during the day. Now, if you can't diversify your income, what you can do is financially prepare for it. So making sure that you at least, at a minimum, most people say 3 months, I say 6 months of savings, so that if something does happen, you have a little nest egg to rest on until you find that next career that you're looking to do. I am so bad financially. Luckily, I have a partner that helps me with that, but it is so important to not feel stressed, to just know that you do have finances and savings. Some, especially if you're a student and you have student debt, a lot of you are watching this that probably do have student debt. It is hard to prepare financially, especially when you're taking off in your career. If you're living in a city where the rent is high, I've been there, right? I was 21 in Toronto, spending money, going out and doing things, and I had to learn, at least in the last 10 years, to start saying no to things that were not financially good choices for me, to make sure that I could get to that place where I did have some financial backing and savings. So in case something did happen, I was good to go. Now, another thing is to help you relax is building that relationship with your leader. Communicate with your employer all the time. Not all the time in the sense, oh my gosh, Jess, I'm gonna get fired. What do I do? Can you give me a heads up? Most of the time, leaders can't give you a heads up if you're gonna lose your job. It's just, that's the game, that's the thing of it. And so what I would do is communicate, get to know your leader when you do see a sudden change in personality, or you can just communicate what your goals are. They can help you make sure you're focused, make sure you're focusing on the work ethic, the skills, the financial aspect of it. They can help get those aligned. And so you want to make sure that you're constantly communicating that. And number 8 would be what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is you need to stay positive. There is nothing worse than working with people that come to work every single day negative. Oh, I'm gonna lose my job. I went on a call probably a month ago, and I was very excited because I just started my new role 3-4 months ago. And the guy started his call and said, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be here that long. I might be let go. And he was so negative that I didn't know how to approach him. He kind of blew it out of, okay, so you're not working on any skills. Your work ethic is lingering and hanging on a thread because you're not positive. And there was a lot of red flags. I don't know this person. This was the first time I was meeting them, and they showed their stress of not being employed. I think that is the worst thing that you can do in an organization. Yes, there are stressful times, but the people that are really showing up and being positive, and not fake positive, like, oh, everything's gonna be fine, da 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 da. Like, you can have those moments where you are not always positive, but if you're consistently showing up at work upset, angry, it's probably time for a new job. Okay, I will be the first to say it. It is time for a new job if you have not showed up to work positive in the last month or 3 weeks. Nobody wants that. All right, so positive. Number 9, something that helps me is having your resume updated. I update my resume every single 6 months. What are some accomplishments? What am I doing in my role? What type of value am I bringing? I always keep it updated just in case. It's not that I'm scared every single 6 months that I'm going to lose my job, but then let's say I do lose my job, it makes it less intimidating to walk into a resume that hasn't been touched in 15 years versus a resume that's been touched every 6 months. Just do it. You'll thank me. You'll feel a lot more relaxed. And it kind of is a pat on the back of all the accomplishments you have done. So take the time, if you haven't done your resume, watch some of my videos about that and just get it done. And lastly, I am a big advocate in therapy and support. I think if you are struggling, there are a lot of organizations that have employee helplines. There's therapy, especially if you're in Canada. There's a lot of organizations that pay for at least the first 5 to 8 therapy sessions. Seek help, seek coaching, seek mentorship and sponsors, because there's nothing worse than coming to work feeling stressed. Life is short. There are so many things happening around us that you don't need to come to a place Monday to Friday completely stressed that you're going to lose your job, because it could happen to anyone. It could happen to me tomorrow. It could happen to you. We just don't know in this type of climate what our future looks like. But what we do know is what we can control. And those are all the 10 tips that I talked about. Staying positive, seeking guidance and support, getting in touch with your leader and communicate consistently, enhancing those skills. What skills do you want to learn? Network, stay informed on industry trends, and so much more. If you found this video helpful, feel free to give me a thumbs up. I do regularly talk about tech and unboxing and reviews for the best work from home setup, but sales is near and dear to my heart, so I love to talk about sales. And if you have sales specific questions, feel free to hit me up in the chat or in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up so I can continue to do what I love, and subscribe because it helps me a lot. Please subscribe so other people can see. And I will see you next week. Take care.